Here's 3 sumo deadlift techniques that you can use instantly in your training today to help you pull more. Number 1, everyone does close grip bench press, wide grip bench press, dumbbells, all these variations. We don't generally do that with the deadlift. We just sumo and conventional, or do one and not the other. If you're a sumo puller, you need to look at your stance. If you're a traditional sumo puller, you're getting all this stimulus from going wide. You may even pull conventional. Have you heard of the frog sumo? The frog sumo, without complicating things, is just a closer stance sumo deadlift where the torso is probably more upright than it is for a traditional wide stance one. For a frog sumo, I put my leg about an inch or 2 inside the powerlifting kneel. I still externally rotate my femurs and shoot my knees out to the side, and my hands are in pretty much the same position. Not only will this help your pulling, but this is also a lot of people's squat stance. One of the biggest hurdles I've encountered, if you squat heavy, you can't deadlift heavy for the next couple of days or even in that session. Hey, if you're pulling wide, you've done your heavy work. You can do this as a variation, hit the same muscles as you would when you're squatting. The other thing you can do, if you're a frog sumo puller, but you want to get wider, you might tear an adductor if you go super wide first up. But one trick you can do, you need to shoot your knees out as far as your mobility allows. Now that's going to look differently on the different athlete, but it's going to feel, especially the first time you're doing it, it's going to feel silly because your knees are going to be so far out, it's going to feel ridiculous. But I'll just give you an example. Yeah, me at doing my strongest frog pull would look something along like the lines of that. Now, if I really wanted to gain adductor strength and I didn't have any, but I did want to get wider, it would be like this. Do you see that difference? There's feeling stupid. There's my strongest frog pull. So it's about probably at least an inch, maybe 2 inches either side. The second topic I'm going to go over is a weak lockout. Now, weak lockout, traditionally, people just do rack pulls, shrugs, all that kind of thing. Hey, you probably should be doing them anyway, but I'm going to show you something even more specific that's not got to do with any of them that will help a weak lockout. So when I'm pulling the bar up, I need to come up with enough speed and momentum in a straight line with enough torque so the bar can get to my lockout. The problem is if I do this too slow here and I've got a really heavy weight and it gets stuck here, I have to use my back. Yeah, but if I don't have enough strength, I'm not gonna be able to lock it out. You've got the 3 points of contact. So you've got your heel, ball of your foot and little toe. All them must be evenly pushed on against. What I'm trying to do when I get down, I'm spreading the floor. Well, what I mean by spreading the floor, my feet, if I'm wearing socks, yeah, I'm gonna be doing the splits. If I was wearing socks, I would not be able to perform this lift. It's not just a figure of speech. I would literally fall over and do the splits. So if your feet aren't pushing sideways, you're doing it wrong. You must change that for an elite deadlift. Now I'm gonna use my feet and spread the floor. I'm not going to be thinking about doing any hip extensions or anything. I'm just going to spread the floor so violently and everything else is going to be so rigid that the bar's going to pop up at speed. Yeah? I'm going to come up with so much speed that when I lock out, the bar's just going to be forced into place. I'm not going to stop here and muscle the bar up. That might happen at an absolute max. But if you're training this particular style, hopefully when you max out, the bar's going to pop straight up. You're not going to be doing no shoulder shrugging, trying to get a lockout. Third and final thing is to make sure your glutes are switched on. I see a lot of people come to me, they want me to help them with their deadlift, then deadlift looks sort of like this. Their knees are going straight. Their knees aren't communicating with their glutes are switching off, and they're just literally almost not doing a squat, they're more doing like a hip thrust with open legs standing up, like this. Now in order to engage your glutes, first thing, the feet have to be switched on just like last time. The last lift I did speak about foot connection. So you need that perfect foot connection, a perfectly balanced foot. The next thing, when I say those people, their legs are pretty straight. I don't want your legs straight, yeah? If you have to open up your toes a little bit more, right? Open your taint, I used to watch that video, like I've probably watched it 20 times in my life. I've never missed a lift. The Ed Cohn Mark Bell, open your taint. To engage my glutes, like yeah, I really have to open my taint. That's gonna be the last technique cue. To open my taint here, my knees have to shoot outwards. Yeah, if any point in the lift my knees are shooting inwards, that means my glutes are switching off. So throughout the entire lift, yeah, your knees need to be shooting outwards. Now it's going to feel a little bit silly. It's going to feel different. If you are deadlifting with straight legs, not engaging your glutes, I wouldn't recommend trying this on your heavy set. Yeah, if you're going to lift like that, lift like that. On your back down sets, I want you to try lifting like this. I want you to try engage your glutes. It might encourage you to back down for a couple of weeks, a couple of months. Get those glutes firing. Get that pressure out of your lower back. You'll feel so much better, you'll be so much stronger, and you'll be training for so much longer. Yeah. If you still don't like sumo deadlifting after this, you need to open your taint. Stand in front of the Olympic sleeve and